There are no words that can describe this case. Let's just roll the intro. Alright, so you may or may not have seen this image floating around online. This is a 17-year-old, his name is Maverick Stowe, that was sitting at the Suffolk Police Department's 7th Precinct because he went to school. I'm just going to sit here and let that soak in for a moment. He didn't do anything illegal at the school. He didn't bring a gun. He didn't do any of that stupid nonsense. He just simply went. So it started out with he was supposed to do online courses, which I have been very critical about from the time that the schools announced that crap. And he decided he wasn't going to do online courses. He thought it was hogwash. So this kid goes to school. He gets a 5-day suspension for showing up at school because an education for a school is so important that outright denying a child an education is their general tactic of punishment. So he gets a 5-day suspension for showing up at the William Floyd High School. And I'll even tell you guys where William Floyd High School is here shortly. I'm sure you can find out. There's a lot of articles online that will tell you. So, while on suspension, he goes back to school the next day. Good, this kid's fighting for his education. That's excellent. He gets a criminal trespass warning on a tax-funded location. Goes back to school the next day and gets arrested. I gotta give it to the kid, at least he's got the balls to fight for what he believes in. I'm glad that he didn't just bend over and allow the school to shaft him of his education after doing something that is already very questionable. Because let's face reality, they're not getting any social skills or anything of that nature by sitting at home in front of a computer. A lot of children are having difficulties doing that. I have people in my family that have kids who are among those kids that are having a hard time doing it because their attention span is much different on a computer than what it would be if they were actually there. But the schools that care so much for our children, they don't care about that. So, yes, I've been very critical of this online learning thing. It's screwed up. So this is what the school district says. As a district, our primary focus, aside from providing a high quality education by suspending your kids for showing up, that's what they classify as high quality education, is to provide a safe learning environment for students and staff. And right there, I have to say, this kid did nothing that violated anybody's safety, so the school's already full of crap. That, if you haven't noticed, anytime a school gives a statement, they always add that in there to provide a safe learning environment. That's like a default for all statements. Then they go on to say, Mr. Stowe continues to display irresponsible and selfish behavior with today's latest publicity stunt. No, he continued to display a desire to actually learn. What the school has displayed is the exact opposite, that this kid wasn't permitted to learn like the other kids, and therefore he was suspended. And then when he continued to fight for his education, the school had him arrested. So, I am very much against this school. I think this high school is a joke. I am very glad that this kid was able to stand up for what he believed in. Now, he was released from the jail without having to post bail. Good, maybe the officers there saw that this was a bunch of crap. But he does have to go to court, and the court date is September 24th. Unfortunately, I don't have a location for the court, but that's alright, because we can find out where the school is. If we find out where the school is, I'm sure you guys could pretty well resolve where the court's going to be handled. So, on the description, I am going to leave a link which goes to a Google document, which is the school's full statement. This way you guys can read everything that the school says. It's all a bunch of crap. It really is, in my opinion. It's just a bunch of nonsense. So, this brings up a lot of questions about this whole learning thing. The schools can't say that learning and having an education is important when they violate that very statement every time they suspend a child. Because let's face reality. What punishment is a kid getting by being set up to fail? Because the only thing that the school is teaching them is, if you don't conform to what we say and what we think, if you have the audacity to have your own thought, we are going to remove you. That is literally what this school is saying by doing this. And that's what other schools have been saying for years. If you have a free thought that goes against what we believe, well, then we're just going to get rid of you. And to me, that is absolute hogwash. Now, I'm sitting here reading another article. I think it's really funny that the school would believe that this was an acceptable form of punishment. Now, the student that was arrested came out and stated that I would like the school to be open 5 days a week, and I would like them to uphold their end of the bargain. Yeah, they should. It would be very nice. So, he goes on to state that the school is an integral part of growing up and that the education is important. And I agree with that. And that is one of the reasons that this whole suspension and the whole arrest of this kid is really just kind of questionable. Now, like I always say, you don't have to agree with me. That's fine. But let's face the reality. Suspending a kid doesn't do anything productive. It's not teaching the kid anything other than, if you don't conform and if you have a belief that goes against what I believe, then you're simply gone. Me, on the other hand, I believe having a independent thought is an important aspect of growing up. I don't believe that children should be subjected and conditioned to the degree that they're not allowed to have an independent thought. We've seen this many times in other areas. Freedom of expression is something that's been very controversial within the school system for quite a while. Kids being suspended because the school didn't like the way they dressed or whatever. It's something that's been happening for years. So I just wanted to comment on this video, on this article. Like I said, I'm going to leave the Google document link on the description, so you can read the entire lovely statement by the Brain Dead School District. So, with that, I guess that's all I have for now.